So I'm very pleased to be here on My Magical Thing with Daniel Yates, founder of Elthamic Witchcraft, author, stone carver, photographer, and owner of the new Occult Library website, which is a very fine endeavor. So, Daniel, it's lovely to have you here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
Well, my friend, please may we see your magical thing?
Oh, we certainly can.
Ooh, that looks suitably weird. Tell us the story, please.
Nothing illegal, don't worry. It's a jar of incense. But so I mean, there's not really a great amount to look at, and unfortunately, you'll just have to imagine what it smells like. It's a very unique smell. This stuff. Uh, Back in medieval times, people might have heard of what you call perpetual stew. You know, where you would just have the cooking pot and it would forever go on. You just forever add to it and it would never end.
Mm.
Well, this is the perpetual incense. About 22 years ago, I want to say now, 22, 23 years ago, I was initiated into a Wiccan coven, and they had at the time a large pot of incense. And what they would do is that every esbat, ingredients would be added to this incense, and then so on, and every Sabbath, and so on, and so on, and so on. But they had inherited this perpetual incense from the coven that they had branched off from, who in turn had inherited it from the coven that they had branched off from. So not only was kind of lineage there through initiation, there was a lineage through this incense, and other things as well. It was kind of curious how, because I kind of brought up the conversation of lineage and said this is kind of a proof of lineage almost, and no one had really thought of it that way. But and so some years back, the high priestess of the coven that I was in passed away, unfortunately, and the incense. So the coven kind of went many different directions, and everyone took the incense with them. So then that lineage just spread again, and then what I've subsequently kind of carried it on. I know others have carried it on, so it's just this never ending. So now it's a smell that if you try and describe it, no idea. Um, Everything's in there. I'm pretty sure that the most prevalent smell that wants to pop out constantly is mugwort for sure, but it's an interesting one. And the funny thing is, I think there's almost an atavistic element to it because of the nature of going around full circle with a lot of things and in kind of celebrating different times of the year. I think sometimes, and this could be purely a psychological thing, who knows, or who particularly cares. You can burn the incense, say at Beltane, and it's like you're reminded of all these previous Beltanes where you've done it, because there's a hint of it there. It's present, even though it's not quite the same. Just like what you're celebrating isn't the same. It's not a fixed, dogmatic thing. It's a changeable thing. So it becomes reflective of that mutability of what's going on, and there's constant change. I've even experimented with things like, do I add to the incense before that celebration, or do I add to it afterwards as a mark of that celebration? And I've kind of experimented. Definitely came to the conclusion, want to do it before, because it becomes part of that one, as opposed to a result of that one. But that's, yeah. So yeah, it's the perpetual incense. Highly recommend people do it. It you don't have to have been in a coven or anything like that. Just start that tradition off yourself. Just start doing it, build on it, and build on it. And seriously, even within that first year, once you've gone that full cycle around, you feel this little sense of accomplishment. Like, I did that thing. And yeah, it becomes like, I fully intend on passing this on to the kids. They're aware of it. They've added to it. So like, yeah, it's I like my little thing, my little incense.
That's very good. Let's have another look. It's disappointing that we can't smell it, but then,
And
um, but we
there's
can imagine.
all sorts in there. I mean, when you get to the dust that's in there, I don't think what that is at this point. Um,
It's
yeah,
it's a lovely example of how magic is a practice, and it's about like an ongoing continuously morphing, continuously changing process. So that's
Yeah.
a really, really lovely magical thing. And yeah, Daniel Yates, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's most appreciated, my friend. Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much. Brilliant. See you again.
I might burn some now.
Yeah, do it. Cheerio.
See you later.